Hello and welcome. Today, we have several interesting stories, including one about original poster who found something so horrible about his family, it could shatter all his father and mother have built over the years. Sit back, relax and enjoy. First story. My 25 male fiancé, 24 female best friend sent me proof of her cheating at her bachelorette party. First of all, sorry for mistake, I'm writing in a state between exhaustion and being completely drunk. So yeah, this is a pretty common story. I met her 5 years ago at uni, fell deeply in love and thought she was the love of my life. 5 years of relationship, she decided to fucking crush LMAO, I wanna break my skull right now. We were not a perfect couple, but damn we were close. Her family liked me, and while I don't really have one, I felt so welcomed in theirs. We had projects. The first one was me buying this big now garbage of a house near the sea, building a family on my own. I proposed to her earlier this year and I couldn't think of a better night than this one. Why the fork she had to throw everything away like that? Yesterday morning, I woke up with big headache from my little party with the boys, and what a surprise when I saw that my fiancé's best friend sent me not one but 5 effing videos. How naive I was thinking, oh cool, they had fun, must be some fun or embarrassing moments lol. To summarize the 5 videos, her kissing at least 3 others guys, making out really passionately with one, I mean really passionately, licking champagne on his body, and finally her being lifted up into a room and a lot of noises from behind the door. My friends are still with me, as dumbfounded as I am. I guess she slept most of yesterday because I had the first text last night and a crap ton of them plus calls since this morning. I only asked her yesterday to tell me the truth and she played like nothing happened. I just can't, I swear to God it's crushing my mind. She just begging on text for me to pick up, saying it's not what I think, how cliché, right? Even her best friend is trying and told me we need to talk. I picked up just once, told her I know for the guy, and bam, blank silence, then sobbing and crying telling me to meet to talk and explain because it's not what it looked like before I hung up and turned off my phone. Even asking me who was the bitch that sent me the vids. Guys, I really thought I could have my own family, it was hard growing in foster. I guess I only have my bros and my job left. I guess I need some outside advices, maybe it really wasn't what it looked like, but how to believe that BS. Edit. Friends typing. Original poster is kind of a mess right now, but all your comment really is cheering him up a little. We'll keep answering until he feels like sleeping. Thanks everyone again. Didn't expect this to blow that fast. The top reply. I'm sorry you're going through this. I guess it's better now than having a painful and expensive divorce. I know you don't want to contact her parents, but I guarantee she's already spreading lies publicly to cover herself. So you should have a couple of close friends contact the people who need to know what's going on, what happened, so you're not framed as the bad guy. Even if you don't want to talk to her parents, send a message like this. I'm sure you've already heard from X, but I'm calling off the wedding due to finding out that she's been cheating on me. This isn't hearsay, I'll spare you the graphic videos that I was sent as proof. I do not intend to take her back, as I've always been faithful to her because I loved her more than anyone, and I would want the person I am going to spend the rest of my life with to feel the same way about me. I don't care about her excuses, there's no coming back from this. I genuinely wish it wasn't ending this way. I considered both of you to be family as well. I need time to recover, I'll reach out to you when I'm ready. Thank you for everything. The second reply. I'm sorry, but it's time to move on. Even if it wasn't what it looked like, why was she in the position for it to look like that? You're going to go insane every time she goes out and you're not there. Let her go and move on to someone that respects you. Second story. Am I the idiot for not wanting to split expenses proportional to income? I live with my boyfriend in a flat he owns, fully paid off. His father gave it to him. The whole building was built 6 years ago and it's in a very popular area. I pay my boyfriend half of the market rate rent, which we update every year by looking how much the flats are being rented out for in the building complex. Which is a lot of money, but I agreed to it. Other than this, we did everything else 50-50 in the past. I got a new job with a significant pay increase and now my boyfriend says we should start splitting expenses proportional to income, because that's fair. I told him I don't think it's fair that I should start paying for more, just because I got a new job and nothing else changed. I already pay him rent. Enough rent that would get me a same-sized flat a few streets away, so it's more than fair to him. He made some, in my opinion, very weak arguments and accused me of ripping him off. That's when I told him that under no circumstances we will split expenses proportional to income. Now that I've calmed down a bit, I'm worried whether I'm in the wrong. Especially since my best friend told me that this is how they do it with her boyfriend too, and my boyfriend owning the flat is irrelevant here. My opinion. Original poster, your boyfriend is exploiting you. I even wommed if he ever loved you for you and not what he can benefit from you. You don't have to increase your share of expenses, especially with the fact that things have not gotten costlier and there is no deviation from the original expenses you guys shared. Top replies. Not the idiot. The problem is he's trying to have it both ways, like they aren't a family but also they are a family in ways that purely benefit him. If it was a half split, okay, they have separate finances. He could be generating income on the property that seems fair, even though most people wouldn't charge someone they love for something they are getting for free, but proportional split means shared finances, and in that case original poster shouldn't be paying anything besides upkeep for the apartment. Why wouldn't the free property be free for everyone if they are sharing finances? My reply. Original poster, he's taking advantage of you and showing some unsavory selfishness around money. I'd think long and hard about whether this is the person you want settled down with. Also, stand up for yourself in your relationships. Don't let him bully you, stand up for yourself. Even if it means leaving the relationship, it's better than letting take advantage of your generosity. The second reply. Consider this analogy. When figuring out child support in my state, each spouse's income is totaled up to see what proportion of child support each pays. And if one spouse receives free housing as part of their job, the value of that is calculated into their income. So your boyfriend's income is whatever he earns in his job, plus the full market value of his housing. That means the full monthly rental value. You pay him half that value already, so he has to add that, plus his half, as income. That's how we do it here. But free yourself from this brat and get your own place. The third story. Am I the idiot for not cleaning up after my nephew and making my pregnant sister do it? I, 28F, live with my husband, 32M, and we have no children. We finally bought our own home and moved in last month. My sister, Tess, has a son, 8M, and they came over for the first time yesterday. My husband wasn't at home, so it was just us three there. Tess is currently 7 months pregnant with her second child. The issue started with my nephew asking me where the bathroom was. I showed him. He was in the bathroom for about 2 minutes and he came out and everything was fine, until I went in there. I went in and he peed on the floor and toilet seat instead of in the actual toilet. There was a lot. I come out asking Tess to come in here and I showed her. I asked her if she can clean up, and she said she was way too tired to clean and asked me to do it. I told her that is disgusting and she is capable of cleaning up after her son. She then told me if I was being serious and that she's pregnant and it's hard to clean up. I asked her what she does at her home and if she even cleans there, and she got pissed at me and reluctantly cleaned it up. Tess eventually left. She gave me a cold look before she left and hasn't spoken to me since besides the text, "Fork off." Word got to my mom, and I got a call from her telling me that she cannot believe that I'd make Tess do that, and that I'll never understand pregnancy. She knows I'm child-free, and I don't understand how tiring is it to be pregnant. I feel like I'm going crazy here. My husband agrees with what I did, but my mom and sister are not so happy with me. Am I the idiot? The third story. I, 19 male. Did a DNA test that could broke my family and destroy my dad, 50 male. Hi everyone. Sorry if I make mistakes, English is my second language. So here I go, I'm from France, really great family with my mom, 46 female, dad, 50 male, and twin sisters. We are typical mid-upper class family, but we used to be poor until the birth of my sisters, when my father's business literally exploded and absolutely changing our lives for the better. We are not a perfect family, but we are here for each other's, and I have a really deep bond with my parents since we lived hell back then. Recently, with me moving to another place for uni, some friends had the great idea to take a DNA test, my heritage, 23andMe type of stuff, which I find really fun, but told everyone my results would not be that exciting since my parents are both European. Now here's the problem. I'm only half European and the other half from Asia, mostly China and a bit of India. I'm absolutely sure no one from my family are from there, and I know my grandparents really well. As I'm writing this, I'm absolutely freaking out that my mom could have cheated from my father. They are together since they're 18. There were nothing but Gwen and love between them, and mom always supported my father and his ambitious works. I always had exotic features like little tanned skin or my eyes being pretty long. I don't know if it makes sense, but always thought it was because my maternal granda was tanned too. I really have no one I could tell this right now since my closest friends are all busy with their uni lives. I'm losing my mind, I need advice please. I'm scared to lose my father, I absolutely adore him. The top replies. The results are 50/50 Asian/European, not parental DNA specific, so I wouldn't actually read too much into this. European as a gestalt entity is vague as Asian is a result, not to mention that a vast number of Europeans have Asian DNA through migration, the Mongol hordes, genetic migration, etc. It may simply be that your parents have a higher than average quantity of Asian ancestors, culminating in this result. Not to mention these DNA tests are notoriously vague and poor for identifying where genes actually come from. The second reply. It seems pretty clear to me. She scolded you in her text because she cheated on your dad. And she is sure you are not his child and doesn't want you and him to learn about it. It is up to you to decide what to do next. You can agree with her not to do the test, you can confront her, or you can share everything with your dad. I'd suggest to talk to a trusted adult, maybe a counselor, even the most level-headed friend. Consider that it will definitely hurt your dad if you let him know. But it would be an absolute betrayal for him if he will finds it out by himself, and if he finds out that you knew. In this case you will lose him 100%. The third reply. There's no gene that says Asian or European. Basically, clusters of inheritable traits are more common in certain populations than others, and that's what these tests are measuring. It doesn't mean that these traits are not present in other populations. It's entirely possible that you just randomly inherited several traits that are more common in Asia than Europe, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. That doesn't mean there's not something suspicious going on, but it is not time to freak out immediately. Update. Here a little /big update for my previous post. This, like people advised, I try to brought up the DNA test like a fun thing to do when I video called my parents. While my father laughed and said why not, my mom stayed quiet and changed subject. After the call, before starting to study a bit, my mom texted me. Basically she kind of scolded me about worrying for stupid stuff like these tests and not being focused on my studies. I mean, this semester wasn't my best, but I always had good grades and it never been an issue between us. She literally told me to not bring this idea anymore and just focus on my study. I really don't know what to think. I never had this kind of texts from her. We don't really argue a lot and I've always been closer to her, because dad worked a lot when I was young and stuff. I really feel like there is something hidden. I would have forgotten about this test and called it a mistake. But why did she reacted like that, god damn it? I really need to sleep. I don't think I'll go to school tomorrow.